I'm Peggy Semmens, the Community Coordinator for the Delnor Community Kitchen. Welcome to our virtual cooking program. With the COVID-19 pandemic, we're not able to have you come to our class, so we decided to have a class here for you. Since we opened in June of 2018, we have hosted over 250 cooking programs for adults, children, and children with disabilities. So stay tuned because this calendar is coming out in September and we are really excited to get you back. I don't know when, but we will get you back into this kitchen. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy our cooking programs with our dietitians. Enjoy. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mary Zupke. I'm a registered dietitian here in Northwestern Medicine, and we're here at the Delnor Community Kitchen cooking for you because we can't see you in person. And today I'm going to be talking about squash. The first recipe involves zucchini, and zucchini is part of the squash family. It's a great source of antioxidants, and it actually has some vitamin C, which is nice. Now the zucchini season is coming about, and usually you want to pick your zucchini when they're about 8 inches long and not super long. So the ones that are a little bit overgrown, you might be able to grate those and use them for zucchini bread. But right now you want to kind of pick them when they're a little bit immature. That way that you know that they'll work nicely in your recipes. All right, so we're making a zucchini appetizer, and you want it for this appetizer, or it could be a side dish, but the kids really enjoy it. And you want to cut the zucchini in little 1/4 inch rounds. So just kind of cut them so that they have a little bit of substance. You don't want them too thin because we're going to saute them lightly. And then this is going to be the base of your appetizer. And it's kind of like a little zucchini pizza, but the zucchini is the crust. So you want to take those and saute them in a little bit of olive oil, just a medium temperature, and you're really going to do about 1 to 2 minutes on each side. So you're just going to kind of saute them to get them a little bit soft, but we're also going to bake them once we add the toppings. So with the olive oil, we like to add a little bit of spice so we're not using too much salt. And today I have a little bit of oregano because we're going to use some marinara sauce and make a little pizza out of it. So we just want to add that and maybe do 1 to 2 minutes on each side. So kind of saute them. You want to get a little bit of browning, but you don't need to cook them too long. It doesn't need to be really cooked through. And you want to make sure that the zucchini is a little bit sturdy so it can hold up to some of the sauces. All right, so once you get those browned, just a little bit, I'm going to show you we're going to lay them out on parchment on the cookie sheet. And we're going to turn that off for now. And then we're going to add just a little bit of this marinara sauce. Now you can also use pureed tomatoes and just add some oregano and some basil and even some thyme. And you don't need to use a prepared sauce, but sometimes you want a quick snack. Then we're going to add this low-fat mozzarella. So it's still part of the Mediterranean diet because it is low-fat dairy. And you're adding a little bit of protein to your snack, which is nice. Protein in your snacks really helps balance out your blood sugar. So it'll stay with you a little bit longer if you have protein with it. Now we have a little bit of sun-dried tomatoes, which just give it a little extra punch. So you can buy those dried, and then you would want to reconstitute them in just a little bit of olive oil to make them a little bit soft, but they do give you an extra concentrated flavor, which is so yummy. And then we're going to add the pesto, just a little bit of dollop on each one, just to give it some extra flavor. Pesto, as you know, is basil usually, a little bit of Parmesan. Sometimes they use nuts, but you can make your own or you can find it without nuts. And then as an extra garnish, we're going to put a little bit of a black olive right in the center. How delicious. Those olives provide those good healthy fats. And sometimes a little fat will help give you some satiety, which is nice. If you're having a snack that's going to fill you up, it's going to stay with you a little longer. So for those of you that like spice, we're going to add a little bit of red pepper. And then we're going to bake those at 350 just for about 8 minutes. So the next thing that we're going to make is stuffed spaghetti squash. Now, spaghetti squash is another good source of vitamin C, and it does have, 1 cup is only 42 calories. So what a nice thing that is. You can have, use it kind of as pasta, and you know, your calories are way lower, and you're sneaking in those vegetables. So for half of our plate, we're trying to find room to get those vegetables on half of our plate. So we want to use, so you can see here, I'm kind of scraping out this, it looks kind of like spaghetti or little strings. When you roast this, probably about 40 to 50 minutes, then you can take a fork and kind of scrape out this pasta-looking ingredient, but it almost looks stringy like it would a spaghetti or a vermicelli. But it's a vegetable. So if we're trying to have half of our plate be vegetables, for most of us that would be 4 to 5 cups of vegetables per day, 2.5 cups cooked, or 5 cups fresh. So we're really trying to sneak in those vegetables wherever we can. Now we're going to add some sauteed spinach. So we're going to move our zucchini here to the side, and we're going to add in a little bit of sauteed spinach and a little bit of olive oil, and then some garlic as well. So I have some garlic in there already, and you really just want to soften up that spinach. And once you do that, you can actually do it without olive oil, but the olive oil gives it some nice flavor. So you can kind of see it wilting already. Just move our zucchini over a little bit. You could chop up some zucchini and put it in there too, but it sautés up really nicely. You can see the difference already that it's wilting from the fresh. So it really only takes 1 or 2 minutes. Now a lot of times people think cook spinach, that's a whole nother step. It's really quick. So it's no problem. And we're going to add that to our spaghetti squash. All right. And that garlic is going to give it that nice flavor as well as the olive oil. Those are both, the olive oil is giving us those omega-3s, so that Mediterranean plan. And then we're going to add the marinara sauce. The recipe for a whole zucchini squash is adding 1 cup of the marinara. And then we're going to mix that in with a little bit of mozzarella. That's going to give it kind of that lasagna feel. And then we're going to mix that all together. Doesn't that look delicious? We've got the spinach in there already, so you're kind of getting double your vegetables in one meal, and you're really low carb. With the low-fat mozzarella, just like the zucchini, we are getting some protein in there and also some calcium, which is good for your bone health. And a lot of times kids really love this kind of spaghetti squash. They don't realize that it is a vegetable because of the sauce and the cheese, and you're even sneaking in a little spinach. So if you wanted to, you could even chop up your spinach really small. You might not even notice it in there. So then we are going to refill the spaghetti squash just like that. and use it as a little dish. There we go, perfect. And then we're going to top with a little bit of mozzarella, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of fresh basil. Okay, and there it is. It's ready to go into the oven. We have one that's already been baked, and doesn't that look delicious? This is stuffed spaghetti squash, and you can see how it's all yummy and melted together. It's going to be a great dinner, and you're going to be getting some vegetables at the same time. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoy this recipe.